Today we're going to look at the median price methodology. This gets quite a bit complicated. So I'm going to dive into all of my items now and switch them all to be of median price. And so I'm going to hit edit, and just to make everything really easy, I'm going to set everything up to be the 3-month schedule, and I'm going to say median price, and I'm going to set my tolerances to 0. We'll discuss what the tolerances will do in just a minute, but right now I'm going to set them all to be 0, and I'm going to set every item to be essential so we don't have to worry about overlapping functionality. So let me go ahead and do that. And I'm going to change this as well, just to essential, change this to 3 months. And close that. And finally, I'm going to do this. And I'm going to change this. Essential and 3 months. All right, so let's go ahead and do a new sales order. This is going to get lots of fun. So same order as we've seen, AK201, AK202, and AK203. Save, confirm the sales order. Now, I cannot tell you where this median methodology would have come from, but I'm going to show it to you, and maybe it is really relevant to your own personal business. So I'm going to need to change this to apply residual. You can have that work off a parameter so that you don't need to come and change that manually. And now, here we are. So now we had our 1400, 120, and 500, and then we get this strange negative 201. And you may be wondering, where did that come from? Well, let's take a dive and take a look. So I'm going to export this to Excel. So the way the median methodology works is it does it in an iterative sense. To illustrate this example a little bit better, I'm going to change the price on the TV as well. So I'm going to go back here and I'm going to make this $2,000. And let me reconfirm this. And then I'm going to go back here, new price allocation. Now we have negative $977, so that's fun. All right, let's export this and let's take a look at what happened. All right, so let's go and we're going to say round 1. So in this case, we had $600. So let's say difference between prices. So we do it iterative 1. So this was $600 that we had more in our selling price than our allocation price. So that $600 now needs to get allocated across the lines. So what we're going to do is we're going to say this is how much my 2,000 divided by sum of these 3 lines. And I'm going through this in a great amount of detail because I really want you to understand where this comes from. So 71%, 7%, and 21%. So we say, what's the actual dollar amount? So 428.57. And I want to. All right, and then I'm going to add this to our prices. And it was over here. One moment, I'm just going to. So now we have our round 1. So now we do round 2. And I'm going to copy this whole thing, and I don't need that. And instead now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to copy this into here, the values, and then we now do this for line 2. So what's my difference? Well, this is 242, and my allocation was this. Now my percentages are going to stay the same, and I just do you'll notice that they stay the same, and that was because we added the same ratio amount to each one. And now we do the same thing where we say we're going to take this amount and we're going to allocate it based on each percentage. I take this and there we go. So now we have 2516, 251.63, and 754. And now finally, we do it a third time. All right, and we're going to copy these here. And so we say this time, what is our difference? And our difference is this. And we're going to close. This is going to be and I think that's already correct based on our formula. So that is our revenue amounts. And so now we can see that the sum of these is 3777.76. So equals sum. Ooh, and that one stayed as text, so I'm going to make that a number. But our total selling price was only 2,800. So if I make this say 2,800, and I do this minus this, again, 977, and all of that extra amount will get removed from here. And so as a result, if I say equals this minus this, there's my 1720.64. See my 269.84 here and my 809.52. So this is doing an iterative difference of allocating amount you sold it versus the amount that that item was supposed to recognize. So we did the 600, and then we did 122, and then we did 254. And if you sum up those numbers, that's what your 977.76 is. And then we take it all off the first line. Why the first line? I'm not entirely sure, but indeed that's the one we go with. And then that is now your basis on what you want to recognize. So yes, it's very complicated, and I do not fully know what the purpose of it would be, but if this is how your business operates on the median threshold, then you have that functionality available to you. So that was the median approach.